What's going on? This is Jackie Marie of Jimmy Marie Booklet. So I am making a video for Jasmine. So Jasmine posted a question in the comment section of one of the videos, and so I'm just gonna read it to you. So she wrote, "How do you deal with the rude doctors and nurses who see you as a lesser? I'm a unit secretary for my clinic and I do so much for them. I keep things running smoothly and still get left feeling as if I'm just a paper pusher. Mind you, I work the ICU COVID floor as a patient care technician because I was going to school for nursing, but obviously life hits and I had to take time off of school. How do you go about the rude physicians and nurses? Some days I just want to give them a piece of my mind and wait a minute, I'm sorry. Some days I just want to give them a piece of my mind. Other days I just don't give it any mind because I do love my job and my patients. So before you go off, girl, don't go off on them. I know, I know it be something serious sometimes because you do want to do it. Um, but I am of the mindset that you ignore them, and because God gave me that gift to ignore people, and that's what I do. I ignore people. Now, don't get me wrong. I do get mad. I'm a Scorpio. Okay, so and I am every bit of a Scorpio. Let me take these glasses off. I'm a Scorpio. I'm every bit of a Scorpio, and my thing is I hold a lot of stuff in. So then when I do finally get to that breaking point, I explode and I scare people because um, that's scary. Because if you got someone who never really who doesn't say anything, you pick and you pick and you pick and they never say anything, and then so you think they a certain way and then they go off, they set it all the way off. It scares people because I go off. Okay. So I'm trying my best to be a reformed Scorpio, and but I do understand the feeling. But like I said, I do have the gift of ignoring people because I know what I could do. I know the damage I could do. So I try my best to ignore people. And so the question was, what do you do when they look at you as lesser? They it I mean, it could be a lot of things. It let's see how do I start it. So one of the things that I do just working in the hospital is, and it's one of the things that I always encourage the secretaries to do, is to learn people's personalities and understand that the personalities are different. And so once you fully understand that, you can know how to handle them. So there are some doctors just working in the hospital I don't even interact with. Now if they need something, then I'll give them, you know, whatever they need. I'll help them get what they need. But other than that, I don't interact with them because of how they treated the nurses in the past, how they treated other people in the past, things like that. So I don't fool with them. I'm one of those people. I ain't fooling with you because if you treat them that way, you'll treat me that way, and then you might catch me on the wrong day. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't I try not to interact with them just because I go off of how you treat other people. Like if I see you treat somebody a certain way, I'm assuming you're going to treat me the exact same way. So I ignore them. And then there are some doctors I love. I love them every time I see them. They see all my teeth and hey and chit chatting with them and things like that. And then there are some doctors, you know, it might be they get a hey, but that's about all they get is a hey. You don't ask about them and. So once you learn their personalities, you know how to deal with them. My very first write up was from a doctor because and the charge nurse This is when I worked on the main floor, and the charge nurse was like, Jackie, don't even worry about it, because he's an asshole. She said I wouldn't even take my dog to him. Okay, he's one of those doctors. Like he literally came like once every. He's one of those doctors that came once every 2 months, and that's only because at the clinic he was with, like the group that he was with, it was his. They will rotate. So one week you go, this week, this doctor goes to the hospital. Like no, no, no. One week this doctor is on call for the weekend, and then the next week the other doctor. So they had a large group. So he came maybe about like every 6 to 9 weeks. I forgot how many doctors they had in that group. So that's the only time we saw him, was just when he was on call, like when it was his weekend to be on call. And he was an asshole. Okay, like he was like, we only see you once every whenever, and you an asshole. So I got rolled up for that, and it wasn't even my fault. It was their answering service, because they had a new person that was answering, and the person the person that was their answering service didn't know what they was doing, and they didn't ask all the right questions. So I got rolled up because I should have known to provide those answers. So that's why I got rolled up. So the charge nurse was like, "Don't," because he wanted me fired. I'm like, "Yeah, you ain't fired," because they fired the person. He got the person at the answering service fired, and he wanted me fired. And yeah, no, you ain't getting me fired. But I did get rolled up, and I was like, whatever. And so the charge nurse like, don't even worry about it, because the manager actually wrote me up, and cause it was a big old whoop de doo. And so the charge nurse like, don't even worry about it. I wouldn't even take my dog to him, because he was a gastroenterologist, poop doctor. She like, don't even worry. Okay, and because nobody liked him because he was an asshole. So how many nurses had he got written up there? I'm pretty sure. And like you come once every whenever and you cause all this drama. But so that was my first write up. Um, see, and then I went a long because I don't do write ups, okay? Because like um, I don't do write ups because when I get to me, a write up is, you want me out of here. Like a write up is supposed to be a corrective measure. That's what it's supposed to be, a corrective measure. But yeah, I don't do write ups. So to me that means you want me out of here, and now you're gonna get me rolling my eyes at you. Cause how dare you? You know what I'm saying? Like, how dare you? So that's how I look at write ups. But they don't look at it that it's a corrective measure. And so I'm like, don't be mad at me because you should have known, whatever. Okay. So yeah, you're gonna get about 2 weeks of me rolling my eyes at you and not talking to you because you wrote me up. Because I don't even do that. Like some people, and I ain't the one. Okay. But I take write-ups personally. I really do. Like you saying you want me out of here because that goes in your file, and that affects your money and all kinds of stuff. I don't play that. So yeah, I'm gonna roll my eyes at you every time I see you. I don't care if you are the manager. You getting these eyes. How dare you? But people who are rude to everybody. Like so I'm saying, like, don't take it because you gotta know their personality. Are they rude to everybody? Is that doctor rude to everybody? Is that nurse rude to everybody? Because everybody ain't rude. You know what I'm saying? Now if they rude, like you might, it might be, out of the doctors and the nurses, it might be two that are rude, two doctors, two nurses that are rude, but the other ones aren't. And so you gotta just, so it's not everyone. Do you understand? So you just gotta learn that's their personality. Now the question is, are they rude to everybody? Now if somebody's rude to everybody, that's them, and they ain't got nothing to do with you. So don't even take it a certain way. But if it's only they they picking at you, then you gotta deal with it. Now another thing that could be happening, because you said they look at you as a lesser. Another thing that could be happening is they could be hazing you. Okay. Now I don't like that hazing shit. Okay. I already made that clear because like when I'm training a new secretary and because I remember one of the nurses in ICU, she was like, "Oh, we're gonna have to haze her." And I'm like, I will. Okay, y'all don't want me now. You know I love you. Okay, but cause why are you hazing people? What is this? What do you mean hazing? We ain't hazing nobody. You don't haze new people because new people are so open. They open to everything. It's so many emotions going through them. You know, you new to this place, you want to do everything correctly. You're paying attention to everything. You know, if someone say something, you know, you kind of, oh my God, did I make the right decision? Like people who are new are already their senses are already high. They're already nervous. So why are you hazing somebody? Like I remember when she said that, oh, we're going to hey, haze them if you want to and see what happens. Okay, not on my watch. You better do it on the day I ain't here. And you know, and I'm real. You know, when I'm training, you know, the people have confidence in me. They know they can come and tell me. I'll be like, look, anything happen when I'm not here, you know, if you training with it, let me know, okay? And you know, cause I'm a deal with folks, cause I ain't scared, okay? You know, I let my people know, you know, let me know if somebody, cause I've been known to get loud by folks, okay? Who the hell you talking to? Don't be talking to my people like that. So, I ooh, y'all. Okay, don't do it. Okay, don't do it. So they could be hazing you, and so you gotta look at that. Um, I think that's immature, but people do they do shit like that. Um, now you said they look at you lesser, maybe because you know you say you were in nursing school and things like that, but life happens, and they could look at you like that because you didn't finish nursing school or because well let me rephrase that because life happens, okay, so you paused and so yeah they could look at you as lesser, but I don't know why because they ain't look my mama is a great nurse. My mom's been a nurse since I was born. Well, I was probably like because she went to nurse school. I was born before she went to nurse school and she went to nurse school right after she got out of high school, okay. So um, she been a nurse almost 40 years, if it's not 40 years. And yeah, because I was like a few years old. So almost 40 years. That's how long my mom been a nurse. And my mom is a good nurse. And she was like, yeah, I failed, you know, her exam and all that stuff. I, I assume she went, I mean, because I remember my mom first got her LPN. She was an LPN. And then she went and got her RN. So I don't know. I might have been in high, might have been in junior high. Yeah, matter of fact, I was in junior high. I was in junior high when she got her RN, her RN license. But for all that time, she had been an LPN, and and she failed it. She failed the test a few times. I remember. Yeah, I remember her doing clinicals and everything. And you know, she failed it a few times. But my mom's a great nurse. You know, it's just it is what it is. One of the things like when she was in nursing school, we didn't have cable. We did not have cable. I remember that year we didn't have cable because I have a little sister. Well, I have a younger sister, you know, and we didn't have cable. We were in our house. My mom bought a house, and we didn't have cable because you know we had to, all the money had to go for her schooling and everything because you know. And I remember when she said that she said we about to get something. We about to get something, and we were like, what? She like guess, and I was like, well, you know, I'm not good at guessing. So I was like, what's the first letter? I always say, what's the first letter? C. And then I was like, what's the second letter? She was like, A. I was like, we getting a cat? Because I'm a cat person. She's like, no, we getting cable. We getting cable back. I'm like, oh, because we ain't got used to, you know, we ain't got used to no cable. We just had regular TV. You know, we good. You know, it's the 90s. You know, it's the 90s. Oh, okay. And now look, people don't even have cable. So I'm like, okay, okay, because it's life, you know. It is what it is. They could see you as lesser because you did not, you know, you have not finished. I don't know why, because I guarantee you, they didn't go all the way through, and they didn't, you know, pass the first time. Like people, it happens. It happens. People are weird, you know. People are weird. Um, People are weirdos, and yes, I will say it. And a lot of people think they better than folks. Like I didn't even know that about my mom. I didn't even know that she had failed. I remember when she was in nursing school. I remember all that, but I didn't know she had failed till she told me that last year. I was like, she's like, oh my god, I was horrible. I was a horrible, and I just wasn't. And then you know she was talking about how when she was a new nurse and all this stuff. I was like, I didn't know any of that about my mom. Okay, we was just talking. I'm like, really? Because my mom is, you know, she precepts the nurses. She's been around. She almost 40 years of experience as a nurse. So you know, it's one of those things. But yeah, they could look at you as a lesser. So how do you handle it? I think you handle it like you handle it, like you've been doing. Those who are that way, you ignore them, and those who are not that way, you take care of them. I mean, now when I say ignore them, I'm not talking about like roll your eyes and everything because you in the clinic, so it's probably much more smaller. But you gotta learn how to deal with them, and that's why I always talk about the personalities that you gotta learn people's personalities. You keep it cute and you know, mute and keep it professional. Some people you have to be strictly professional with. If you know that, so like we had this doctor, he was old school, so he liked to. Not the way he was old school, so he liked to do the blood pressure cuffs. Um, he liked to do the blood pressure cuffs like the old ones where you gotta wrap it around and then you push it in with the watch and the stethoscope and all that. He's one of those. So he will always come to the ICU. He will always come to the ICU, go right in the drawer, and he would go right in the drawer and get it. With his stethoscope, go in the room, see his patients. And he didn't use the machine like the blood pressure that's on machine that you take from the room. He didn't use that. He said he don't know nothing about that. But we know, you know, his personality. So when we see him coming, we knew exactly where he was going. He knew where he was going. He go see his patients. After he see the patients, he may or may not speak to the nurse. I don't know who he really spoke to. I know he did that, and then he would sit down and he would chart, and then he go about his business. He wouldn't be there all day. He wouldn't do too much conversation. You being there with the nurses and the doctors, you know their personalities. You know how they are. So how do you keep it professional? How do you keep it professional with them? You know what they do. You know their routine. You know they go to lunch at a certain time. You know they like this. You know them. Even though you may think you don't, you do. You know how, you know their quirks. You know how they are. So you work to that. Do you understand? So like that doctor, we saw him every now and then, but we knew what his quirks were, and I kept it professional. I don't think I really ever. I think I might have when I worked on the main floor, I saw him more just because of what type of doctor he was. But for whatever reason, he came to the ICU a few. He came once every now and then. Well, technically, he only came when he really had a patient over there. And for whatever reason, he never really had patients over there. But we knew how he was, because matter of fact, he did it. He did it when I was on the main floor. So we knew his quirk. He didn't use he didn't use the machines. He don't care. Okay, so like you know they would document the blood pressure. He didn't care. He gonna check it himself, and he gonna use the old. He not gonna use the machine. He gonna use that one. So we knew how he was, and he ain't bother nobody. Just like we had the doctors, the pulmonologist, right? Yes, he was a pulmonologist. He have his stuff. Was it the pulmonologist? Was he a pulmonologist? I I can't remember if he was. Right? Was he? I want to say yeah, he was a pulmonologist. Just like we had the nurse practitioner. She always had her bag with her tools in it. We knew how they were, you know. And just like the assholes, you know, you know how they are. They got to keep up something. So in order to keep it professional, you know how they are. You make sure whatever they need is there, and you don't make eye contact. You keep it cute, short, and make sure they have what they need so they can come on about your face. And yeah, I mean, everybody ain't got the gift. Everybody ain't got the gift to ignore people like I do. Don't you wish you had it? Because I ignore the hell out of you. Okay, you don't even exist. Because I'm one of those people. I've been told that I'm hard to read. Because you know how you can read people. Like I'm very good at reading people. Honey, I can read the soul. But and that's probably why I ignore people because I can pick up on all kinds of stuff. But I've been told that I'm hard to read because in the morning, because I'm not a morning person, and I will tell you that I am not awake until at least 9 o'clock, even though I'm at work. But this is 7. I'm not awake until 9:30 ish. So, you know. But then, after I have breakfast, because I don't eat first thing in the morning. So after I eat something, I'm good. I'm awake. I'm good. And then some people, I gotta deal with them accordingly, because I deal with people the way they deal with me. I also deal with people 9 times out of 10 how you deal with others. So like if I see that you always this way with certain people, I'm gonna deal with you accordingly. So I'm not gonna be all in your face trying to be your friend because I know you ain't that type of person. Trying to do that small talk. I know you're not that type of person because you talk crazy to me, then So I I'll try not to deal with that type of person. But some people say I'm mean, and then some people like, what are you talking about? Jackie is like the best. What are you talking about? Jackie's the best. Whatever. She's the nice. She's the sweetest. They were like, what? Her? That mean? And then some people, it's just I get told all the time I'm hard to read. I don't know. Maybe you're hard to read. Maybe you're one of those people that's hard to read. I know I've been told that. I've been told that a lot my entire life that I'm hard to read, and that's why I say when I hold stuff in, and then when I go off, it scares people because I've been told that too. That I scare people when I go off because I hold stuff in. So you think I'm a certain way, and I'm not. So you could be hard to read. You could be one of those people, and they don't know how to treat you. Now I ain't saying go off now, because that's what we don't want you to go off. We don't go off. Same thing. Now, one of the things you do have to take into account is that the doctors and the nurses are under stress. So I will defend them. The nurses and the doctors, they are under stress. Okay, and then especially now during the COVID. So we know that the nurses are overworked. We already know that. The nurses have too many patients. They speak up and they get ignored. We know CNAs, because you said that you were a PCA. Uh, we know that the CNAs are overworked because there's not enough staff, and so the stress is there. So that could be something. They could be stressed, and then they're coming to you needing something, and you make don't know. You're not full. And so that's making them she don't know what she doing. And then that can maybe make you feel like that they think you're lesser, when it's not so much they think you're lesser because you didn't finish school or you haven't finished yet. It's because they're stressed, and then they're needing just whatever, and then you're not able to provide it, or they can't get it, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, like, that's nah. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is, when people are stressed, because like I told the story about the one girl. She was she was a CNA. She became a she took her the one girl that left, and then I left. What did I do? But she was a CNA and they trained her. I mean, she was a CNA and they trained her to be a secretary. And so her mother-in-law was a housekeeper, and her mother was the housekeeper on the unit, this main floor. And the nurses was talking about her. She don't know how to do this. She can't do that. Now, I mean, she just got cross trained to be a secretary. She been on the unit and she's been a CNA, but it's a difference between being a CNA and a secretary. It's you know, because everybody think being a secretary is easy. I keep telling y'all it's not. That's why I hate when they say that, oh, all we do is answer the phone and answer the call. Like, I'm like, no, secretaries do way more than that. Okay, way more. But they were talking about her, and her mother-in-law, who was a housekeeper, pulled her to the side and was like, "Look, you need to straighten up because they talking about you." And then that's how I found out that was her mother-in-law. I'm like, "What?" Because my friend told me, because she was still there. Because I had went over to the ICU, and I was like, "I ain't know her mama-in-law." Okay, on the okay, that's why I say you gotta watch what you say because you don't know who know who. You don't know who know who. And but yeah, the mother-in-law heard them because the mother-in-law cleaning the rooms, and she in the hallways and she hearing them talking because they at the med cart and they getting medicine, or they at they used to have cows and stuff like that. Computers on wheels. They are cows, computers on wheels, and they stand there talking, and nurses charting in the hallway talking to another nurse talking about her. And the mama-in-law is the housekeeper. She in the hallway, you know, getting her stuff from her cart, and she hear him talking about her daughter-in-law, and don't nobody know that's her daughter-in-law, cause I didn't know. And but yeah, she told her, she said, you better straighten up because they talking about you. So I mean, that could be it. It could be because they wasn't hazing her because she had worked on the floor as CNA, but they had cross trained her, and then she's still CNA. I don't know if she was in nurse school. I don't know, but so it could be that they used to having me. Miss Perfect. They got on my damn nerve. I went somewhere else, and now they struggling because they struggled. I ain't gonna even lie, they was struggling. Because I remember one time I had went over there to go sit with a Baker Act because I'm in Florida. We got Baker Acts. Like in other states, they call them other things like 50, 51, 51, 50, something like that. And I had went to go sit with a Baker Act, and they only had one secretary. They had one secretary when I went over there, and about 3 o'clock, they was like, now this is where I used to work, okay? Because I'm in ICU, but I had went over there to sit with a Baker Act. So about 3 o'clock, they gonna come and ask me if, because they were gonna have a CNA come and sit with the Baker Act, because she wasn't even violent. But I heard she had cut up before. But anyway, because me and her was walking in the hallway together. But anyway, they were like, we're gonna have so and so come sit in the room, and then you come work as the secretary on the other side, because that floor always had two secretaries. Now they had one secretary when I got there. They didn't want me to work as secretary. They wanted me as a CNA. I mean, not CNA, as a sitter. And now at 3 o'clock, you want me to come work and represent up in this mother. Yeah, no. I was like, no, I'm all right. I'm all right where I'm at. Hey, what you need more? Because they need, now all of a sudden you got a CNA out of somewhere, somebody to come sit with her, you know? But whatever. Y'all know y'all need to. Okay, because you want me to come and represent. What they should have did was they should have had their secretary sit with her and had me run that mother. But anyway, man, I would have showed out, but I can't show them up like that. I'm like, no, I'm fine right where I'm at. And stayed in that room. I got another 4 hours. I'm about to chill. Okay, me and Maria, we about to chill. Maria up in there like she ain't speak English. Okay, I'm in there doing my Spanglish with Maria, and then Maria talking about when the doctor came in, the sight doctor, when the sight doctor came in. Okay, he don't play that. He don't play that. Okay, and he came up in there. She speak English as good as she want to. Y'all should have seen me look at her. I was like, okay, got me in there with my Spanglish. Okay, and the sight doctor came in there and she speaking good old English. I was like, you know what? I ain't fooling with you. I ain't fooling with you. Okay. But me and her got along. We were walking in the hallway. They was like, that girl, they said that old lady cut up. They said that lady was showing out. I was like, Maria is fine. What y'all talking about? Like I said, people are wide open. You didn't put how long. You didn't put how long you've been there. So I had to assume that it's recent from the way, just from the way that they're acting, that it's recent. But the only suggestions that I can give you is like you've been doing, you know, ignore some of them, and then because I know some days you just wanna tell them all about themselves. You wanna tell them you tired of hearing because I remember. so so this is how I do. I had to go. I had to leave the main floor. I'm gonna tell you what happened. So there was a lady. She she used to be a nurse, and she was a LPN. She was an LPN because at the time when I started, we had LPNs, and then they got rid of them. And then they were so upset when they got rid of them. But I knew when I started that they were getting rid of the LPNs. And then it was like 2 years later when they finally got rid of them, and they were so mad that they got rid of them. Because like, dude, I knew that when I started here that they were gonna phase y'all out. But anyway, so I'm still tripping off how they was upset by that. But that's what hospitals are doing. They phasing out the LPNs, and a lot of them going to work at nursing homes, which is whatever. Because you still got nurses. I thought it was dumb, but you know. And so because I remember we had the one guy. He was LPN. He was in nursing school, and so he didn't want to leave. So he took a job as a CNA. He became a CNA, and but he was a nurse. He was an LPN, but he had been there forever. And then but he was in nursing school, so he took a job at CNA. And then like 6 months later, he got his RN. So like it ain't like y'all don't know what's going on. But anyway, so so it was a lady. She used to be an LPN, but she had a lot of health issues, and so she couldn't or wouldn't whatever be a nurse. I don't know. But anyway, so she was a nurse. She was in uh, quality improvement, QI, right? Quality improvement. I think that's where she was. And basically, she would look at because there were a lot of because I know that lady was an LPN. Because my mama even thought about doing that, because her knees is getting her knees. But so she used to sit at the nurse station, and she was the busiest, bodiest, nosiest. Like nobody even talking to her. Somebody walk up to the nurse station, ask me a question, she answering. Okay, and she would run back and tell because they tried to write me up on her. I was in HR by her. Okay, and yeah, I got taken out of HR. Okay, and so over this right here, what I'm telling you. So she was like the busiest, nosiest. Nobody liked her, but she had our director. She was more because she was always on the unit. She's at the nurses station because her friend sat on the other side because that's how big the unit was. Because like their department they sat on the unit and they would go through the charts and they would talk to the doctors and everything because if the patient need to, you know, you know, they would basically be the ones telling case management we need to get them out of here. They've been here, Medicare, Medicaid. They were like quality improvement, whatever. And so they was all busybodies. I don't think it was one in that QI that wasn't a busybody. But anyway, so she was always in the conversation. Nobody even talking to her like, do your job. So one day, y'all, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do her no more. Okay, I couldn't do her no more. I couldn't. I couldn't. When I say I couldn't, I couldn't. And I told her it was just me and her at the nurse station, which was rare. Okay. And I told her, I said, you need to stay out of conversation. Nobody's even, I mean, she jump all in conversation. I'm talking to you. She come all in the conversation. Visitors come up, ask, can you tell me where room, blah, blah, blah. Here she is. Oh, it's that. Nobody's talking to you. You mean? But anyway, because she was a bitter woman. She was bitter because her husband had left her for, and left her for another woman. And then the husband, the other woman, like he had the other woman use her identity. So the other woman stole her identity and ran up all these credit cards, and so she had to pay. But anyway, so she was bitter. Okay, she was bitter. Okay, and I was like, you always in conversations and nobody's even talking to you, and I mean, I'm just going off. Okay, now I ain't screaming now. Okay, because I didn't go off. I ain't scared folks, but I did. I let her know, and I said, and I'm tired of hearing about your damn dog, because she always talk about that damn dog. I said, I'm tired of hearing about that damn dog. Okay, always talk about that dog. Okay. Shut up, lady. Don't ever hear about that damn dog no more. Okay. So, I didn't go off, but I did, I let her know. So, of course, she ran and told, but nothing happened to me. It was something else that happened. So now she really mad at me, which I didn't care. So then we had another incident, and then basically she lied on me, and then that's how we ended up at HR. But anyway, I was in the director's office for like an hour. How long was I in there? Like 45 minutes. Yeah, yeah, I was in there 45 minutes. I was like, I ain't apologizing to her. You got me fucked up. You got me fucked up. You think I'm apologizing to her? Okay, because I had already told her about herself. Okay, I don't want to hear no more about that damn dog. What did I? I mean, I thought you said something about that damn dog. But yeah. So and then yeah, I had to go to HR. They were like, you need to apologize. I was like, no, no. Next thing I knew, I was in HR, and then I was like, well, I said, well, I guess I could have repeated it, you know, because she said I didn't. She said I didn't tell her something, which was not true. I did tell her. She just acted like she didn't hear me because she was mad. But anyway, so I said, you're right. I should have repeated it, you know, because she had like she didn't hear something I told her. She had a phone call. She had like she had like she didn't hear it. Cause now mind she had her own phone. She had her own phone and she had a pager. She had her own phone and she had a pager. But she was getting calls to the desk because she literally thought that. But anyway, so yeah. But yeah, I was like, you're right. I should have repeated it that she had a call. But she lied and said I never told her. She was sitting right there. She was. But you know what? You know what? Now I know she heard me, but she was pretending like she didn't hear me because the doctor was talking to somebody else, and she was all in the conversation because that's what she do. So, but she had like she didn't hear me, but she heard me. She heard me because she hear everything. Because can't nobody say nothing without her being in the conversation. She heard me, but yeah, doctor wasn't even talking to her. He was talking to somebody else, and she was in the conversation. So But okay, that her ears stayed open. But yeah, that's why. I'm surprised you didn't even put in there if they said. I mean, if they have written you up, you didn't even put anything like that. That's why I think they're hazing you. Because uh, if they were really trying to get you out of there, they would have wrote you up by now. And you didn't put that in there. Now they could have, but you didn't put that in there. So that's why I think they're hazing you. But yeah, I know the feeling. You want to go off some days, but don't do it. Don't do it. That's what God gave me the gift to ignore people. Like I made a video talking about these daughters. I forgot the name of the video. I can go back and find it. I made a video talking about these daughters. And we had a patient in ICU, and the patient had like whatever on his brain, okay? And he had three daughters, and the three daughters were crazy. And the day of the surgery, the okay, so when I got there, they were there to take him down to surgery. The daughters were there, okay? And the night secretary had told me that the daughters had been there since 5. And now it's 7 o'clock because it's changed the shift. We coming up in there. Day shift is coming in. And which is whatever, which is whatever, because their daddy going to have surgery, okay, on his brain. And so the daughters, they come out the room, they go in the waiting room. And then maybe about 7, whatever, no, 20 minutes later, they come to the door. I let them in. And they was like, where's our father? And I'm like, your dad went down to surgery. And they was like, what? Why? Why didn't no one tell us? Why didn't no one tell us he was gone? We didn't get a chance to say goodbye. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, yelling, screaming, carrying on. It's like 7 something in the morning. And I'm like, you didn't come and get us. You should have told. Oh. So I politely got up and went to the back. Okay, because first of all, it's too damn early in the morning. I'm not awake yet. I don't wake up till like 9 something. And you screaming. Like, what is you screaming for? What are you talking about? You didn't get a chance to say goodbye. You been here since 5. You were here when I got here. What are you talking about? You was in the room. You came out the room, walked past me, went in the waiting room. Like, what are you talking about? What? So they weren't screaming. They weren't looking for the nurse. They weren't looking for the charge nurse standing there looking at me. And they yelling at me, talking about why didn't you tell us? Why didn't you come get us and all that? The fuck out of here. So I go in the back. So cause I ain't dealing with y'all this early in the morning, cause you will get your feelings hurt. So anyway, it was a big old whoop-de-doo. They had to get the nurse in, cause the charge nurse came in the break room. She came in the break room, and she like, girl, they mad at you. I was like, what they mad at me for? I ain't do nothing. You'll be, cause I walked away. Because I walked away. Hey y'all, sorry about that. I tried to pause the video and I accidentally stopped the video, so I'm doing this again. I had to go blow my nose because I had laughed and my nose was running and everything. So anyway, but yeah, so the daughters were, they were mad at me and they were yelling at me. I'm like, I ain't did nothing to you. So it was a big old whoop de doo. And so I had got a comment on the video saying, they understood where the daughters were coming from because, they were emotional and this and that and that and this, which is fine, you know, which is fine that patients are emotional because daughters were crazy, okay? But them yelling at me for something that I had nothing to do with, they weren't trying to yell at the doctor, they weren't yelling at the nurse. It was the secretary who did nothing to them. Like I'm not here to be anyone's you know uh punching bag. That's not what I'm here for. I'm not here for that, and so I don't tolerate that. So yeah, I understand why some days you feel like you just want to snap. I understand because you don't go to work. Ain't nobody paying you to be nobody's punching bag. So I understand that. But like I said, I think they're hazing you. I think they're hazing you. And like I said, you didn't say how long you've been there, but I think they're hazing you. And hazing is stupid, because if they want you gone, you would have been gone, and they really don't want you gone. Um, but I do think that they're hazing you, so that's why you just need to learn how to ignore them, ignore the ones who. Now, no, I don't even want to say ignore. You're gonna have to learn how to be professional. Just keep it professional, a professional relationship with them. Even when they try, even when they, oh, here we having a potluck. Here, you want to join it, or keep your distance, because you already know how they are. You already know how they are. You gotta keep it professional. Yes, I know you wanna participate in that potluck, but just give it some time, Or if like you say you at a clinic, if it's a holiday or whatever, or a happy hour, they doing stuff like that. Just keep it professional. Just keep it professional. I don't wanna say ignore, because that's too broad of a word. I want to say keep it professional. So you chit chatting with other coworkers is fine, but with them, the ones who are like that, keep it professional. And then also maybe if you are talkative, like I would assume that they know that you took some time off from school. Maybe keep some stuff to yourself. Like, keep some of your business to yourself. Okay? Because people will use that against you, and people will think what they think about you because of certain things. So like that lady with the dog, with that damn dog, I knew way too much of her business. Not only the business that she told, but when people were talking about her, because like um I'm trying to think who told me about the credit card. I think she might have been the one that told me about the credit card. I knew for a long time is he left her for another woman, and she couldn't have kids. Let her tell her she had everything wrong with her. Okay, she couldn't have. She was raped a long time ago. Like, girl, please look at look at the mirror. Okay, nobody raping that. Who raping that? Get out of here. But she had been raped. She had all these health issues, whatever. And then her husband didn't want to have, so she couldn't have kids. And then her husband didn't want to adopt. So she basically 30 years with this man that didn't want a family with her and dogged her out. You know what I'm saying? Because he probably dogged her out the whole time. But anyway, I never got that. But that's what I picked up on. You know, he probably dogged her out the whole marriage. And so that's why she bitter, because she was super bitter. And she did not need to be bitter, because she had like 90% blockage in her heart. She did not need to be bitter, okay, but she was. And because of what that man did to her. So I understand some of that. And her dog did bring her joy, but don't nobody want to hear about that damn dog. Like, you doing too much. But I knew way too much of her business. I got like some of the other stuff that uh, one of the reasons why he left her, because the other woman did something, would do something that she wouldn't do sexually, okay? And just like, I don't need to know that. I don't need to know that. So cuz like, only thing you know about me is I got a mama, a sister, nephews, and that's it. People be thinking I'm a lesbian. People be thinking, because you don't hear nothing. You don't hear nothing. You don't need my business. You don't need to know what I'm doing in my personal life. All you need to know about my mama, I got a mama and a sister and 3 nephews. That's it. That's all you need to know. But and that's pretty much look. What y'all know is what they know. Okay. Now we ain't tight like that, and you ain't gonna know it. But yeah, and that's, I think that's another reason why I'm so hard to read. I always talk about people always say I'm hard to read because they don't know nothing about me. They don't know nothing about me, and because I like it that way. Because I keep my circle tight. And even then, there are people that I had worked with, like at the hospital, that I wish I had never told. Like, so I'm not on Facebook. I've had Facebook. I think I got Facebook in like 2009, and then I got off of it. And then when I started at the hospital, I got back on it because me and this girl, she was like, "Oh, you be my Facebook friend and all this," but I'm not the type of person. Like, I don't be turning on my business. Like, I'm a lurker. People that lurk on social media, they really don't post nothing. That's me. And so she was like, so me and her, we were cool, but then I was like, so that's when I got back on Facebook. I don't do nothing on Facebook. So then I got off Facebook. And then when I was over in ICU, I got back on Facebook because I'm gonna use it for business. And yeah, no, I don't like Facebook. And I actually thought about a few, last year, getting back on Facebook, and almost just the thought of it almost threw up. I was like literally looking at the login for Facebook, and I was like, I can't do it. I almost threw up. But I'm a private person. I don't like people in my business. I mean, if I'm like that on the internet, you gotta assume I'm like that in real life. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't have people all in my business. Are you telling too much of your business? That's another thing to look at. People don't. I mean, I'm not saying I don't respect you. I mean, I'm not saying I don't respect people who tell all their business, but like I do, people do, you know, think certain things about you. It's like somebody that's always gossiping. Like they just known for that. Like you think certain things about people. So I wonder if maybe, you telling too much of your personal business. And could that be, why they're thinking what they're thinking of you? I don't want you to think that this video is bashing you. Look, I'm just trying to figure out it. Let me say that again. I don't want you to think this video is bashing you, that you're the issue. But we got to get to a solution, because you didn't really tell me much. I mean, I know doctors could be rude. I know that, and I ignore them. I know how to handle it. The ones who are whatever, I ignore them. The one, cause like when that doctor, the one that I got wrote up on, every time he come to the unit, I go the most opposite direction. Literally, I would go in the break room because I was so mad. Like for years, because he never came into the ICU. He was maybe once he's coming to the ICU, but like I said, he don't come that often. He was always over there. I would go to the other side. I don't even want to interact with him. Now, do you think he remembered that he got me rolled up? He don't remember. He don't remember, but I remember. So I literally never. I always walk away from nurse station when he was there. And then he didn't put his orders in correctly. He will always put all his orders in like you're supposed to put your orders in. Like if you ordering a diet, you go in there and change. You put the damn diet. And he would put everything in a physician note to the nurse. All these damn. Because we got a thing where the doctor could put a note to the nurse. And he would put all his orders in there because he know how to use the system. And nobody was gonna teach him because he was an asshole. And so nobody liked him because he came once every whenever. He know how to use the system, and he was an asshole. Nobody want to teach him. I would go somewhere else. Find me somewhere to go. Cause yeah. So then I come back and I put all those orders in. The ones I could put in. Cause sometimes he had medication. Like these supposed to be like a quick note to the nurse, and you got medication, you got diet, you got this, you ordering X-rays. You supposed to put all that in. Doctor's supposed to put all that in, but he. So I would go find me somewhere to go until he left the unit. Like that's how serious it was, because I was mad because he got me rolled up. And you know, he, so I'm not saying that is I'm not saying that is you. I'm just saying we gotta figure out what's going on so how we can alleviate it. Know the personalities. So I knew his personality. He was an asshole, that one doctor. So I always ignore him. I mean, I went to the furthest part of the unit and stayed there until he left the unit. Or I would go in the break room and stay there till he left. Like I would go somewhere. Um, And then some people, you just gotta keep it professional. I think that's the most important thing, is just keep it professional, because one of the hardest things at working for a hospital is the personalities. That's one of the things I always tell y'all, is that you gotta learn the personalities of these people, because there are a lot of personalities in these hospitals, and you need to learn them, and then proceed accordingly. So like some of the nurses, you think all them nurses like me? I had this one nurse couldn't stand me, and I couldn't stand her. And then I had nurses that couldn't stand me, and I couldn't understand why they didn't like me, you know? And then same thing with CNAs. There were some CNAs, hey girl, and then some just never spoke to me, just always looking at me, just never, and I never, because, I just never knew. I just never knew why. But I respect it. They never said nothing to me. I never said nothing to them. Like, they never asked for nothing. Or if they did, every now and then they might ask me, Jackie, can you, whatever. Sure, sure. And then, but I never knew why they didn't have too much conversation for me. I just left it at that. Some of them, we was cool. Some of them, you know, it was professional. Like that's how you gotta keep it sometimes. You gotta keep it like that with some people. Just keep it professional. I didn't know why. I never did none of them, never said none of them, never said nothing about them. Never. Like the one CNA on the main floor that became a nurse. I didn't even know she was in nursing school until when I went to go sit with that baker at. And she was a nurse. I was like, I almost fell out. Because I'm like, really? I didn't know that. But she never really said nothing to me. Never. She would ask every now and then, Jackie, can you, whatever. And I would do it. you know. So and so said they didn't get a tray. Can you order a tray? Instead of going to the nurse, tell the nurse, just tell Jackie. Okay, that's fine. I'll call down and get them a tray. But other than that, we ain't had no conversation. And it was what it was. I didn't spend all day trying to figure out why they didn't like me. Some maybe I said something. Maybe I rolled my eyes at one of their peoples. Okay, maybe they one of their peoples came and they got that smoke that day, and now they like, I ain't gonna want with her. You know, I ain't gonna. But I'm like, I ain't never did none of that. Why they But I might have, I might have to get that smoke to, one of their coworkers, their friends. That old girl was really their sister. Because people, you don't know who people know. That old girl was their cousin, and I had to, I had to get that smoke that day, and so they don't like me from then, cause, but they ain't gonna say too much, you know. But I'm like, I ain't never did none of that. Why they don't like me? Cause I probably, probably had to, So it could be, it could be all kind of reasons. My advice to you is just to keep it professional. And that clinic, that where you at now, that won't be the last place that happened. That is not the first place. You can go somewhere else, and you still gonna have the same situation, because you got stress, you got personalities, you got medication. You gonna, honey, you got people on medication, you got nurses on medication, you got nurses stealing drugs, you got they acting weird. You just gotta learn how to keep it professional. Like I said, I ignore people. I can do it because I'm trying to be a reformed Scorpio, y'all. I'm trying to be a reformed Scorpio. I'm trying to be a better Scorpio because I'm a Scorpio. But you just gotta learn how to keep it professional. Some people ain't gonna like you. You may have not done anything to them, but you might have said something to somebody they know, and now they don't like you. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that's why some people don't like me. I'm pretty sure. I ain't never did nothing to them, but I'm pretty sure. And but you just gotta keep professional. You just gotta keep professional. Now, you don't let nobody be yelling all at you and all that now. And because one thing people like to do is they like to show out in front of other people. So they like to do that. So, when so and so and so around, they all mouth, but then when it's just you and them, they ain't got nothing to say. So, pay attention to that, because people are like that. They ain't gonna say nothing to you when it's just you and them. They ain't gonna say a word to you. Matter of fact, they might be nice to you. But then when this person or that person are around, they want to cut up. So look and see if you're seeing that, and then that way you know how to proceed accordingly. Okay, so you only like to because you'll learn they fake and phony, because that's what they are. They cool with you when it's just you and them, or they ain't got nothing to say when it's just you and them. But when other people are around and they want to cut up, they fake and phony. So you proceed accordingly. You keep it strictly professional. You know you need to keep it strictly professional with them. Now, I ain't never really went off on a nurse. I ain't never went off on a doctor. I ain't never did that. But I ain't never went off on, well, not that. Stop lying, because me and the charge nurse got into it when she was a nurse. She was a charge nurse that day, you know. But she was a nurse, and we got into it, and cause she was following me. I wasn't even bothering her, but I should have called out. I should have called out, because my blood pressure was through the roof. It had been through the roof since the day before, because I was mad, and I should have called out, but I didn't. And then, yeah, I went off. Okay, I went off. Well, no, I don't want to say I scare people. I don't want to say I scared people, but I did get loud. I should have called off. That's one of those where I admit, and to this day, I'm still embarrassed by that, because I should have called off, because I knew my blood pressure. I knew I was hot. But yeah. So yeah, me and her, and honey, if y'all know how many times I've been in the office behind these folks, especially on the main floor. Oh my God. I can't even tell you how many times I've been in the office on the main floor. I used to stay in there because they used to try me. They used to try me. It was always like they, and, and I don't think that people fully understand, especially when you and so and so get along. When y'all get along, and then all of a sudden they turn on you, I don't think people fully understand how that hurts. So I don't think they understand how that hurts. I don't know. Working in medical field is just one of those things. It's emotional. It's emotional. It's not like people who work 9 to 5 and work in cubicles and things like that. It's the politics of the thing. But in the hospital is different, because you're basically in the, I don't know how to describe it. In a office, it's just like 9 to 5, and it's the politics, and it's the hierarchy. But in a hospital, it's the camaraderie, because you need each other. Like you can't do nothing on your own in a hospital. You can't. I can't be the secretary. I need the nurse. I need the nurse to go in the room, check on the patient. I need the CNA. I need these people. I need these people. Like, you can't do anything on your own. You gonna take the patient down to X-ray? No, you need the transporters. So it's the camaraderie in the hospital, and I don't think that they fully understand that when they trying you. But like I said, I think they're hazing you, and they just want to see what you're gonna do. And what you need to do is you need to keep it professional, because this will pass. Now, like I said, I don't like hazing. I hate that, because all you're gonna do is run, because everybody ain't strong, and people take it as you don't like me, you're being mean to me, when they're really hazing you just to see if you tough. I don't like it. I don't like it at all, because people will leave, or people will go off, or people that, and then you wonder why, and then they wonder why they can't get nobody, or they wonder why they can't keep nobody. They can't figure it out because your staff is hazing the other staff, is hazing the new staff. Like you can't do that. And they always hiring, and they always this, and they can't keep that, and this and that, and but no one looks at that. I don't even think they think that. Well, no, I think they do. I think they do because they know that nurses eat their own. They know that, and it's just not handled. And but I don't think they think that other staff does it to other staff. So I think that's where the problem lies. The other staff does it to other staff. But like I said, I think they're hazing you. And what you need to do is learn how to keep it professional with those who are doing that. Proceed accordingly. Learn their quirks so you can keep them out your face. Get them in and get them out your face real quick. So you don't have too much interaction with them. And then the ones that are nice and lovely, you take care of them. You take care of them because believe me, everyone. So like if I'm sitting there and I see that if I'm the secretary and I see that a nurse is hazing another nurse, or they talking sideways about, but you there, because 9 times 10 most people ain't gonna talk about you while you're there. They gonna do some foolishness. I'll speak up, but that's just me. But there are people who see it and don't like it, who may speak up on your behalf, but they're quiet about it. So you might think that they're part of it too, when actually they're not. They don't like that, and so they might go speak to them like, "Hey, y'all need to stop. Hey, don't do that." You know what I'm saying? So don't think that everybody is actually against you, because there may be people that sitting there that see it and hear it and they don't say nothing. They're not vocal, but they may go and speak on your behalf to that person and like, "Hey, don't do that." That's a good person, because I don't like it. I will speak up. Now me, I might get it. Excuse you. That's me. That might be what I do. But some people are quieter. They much better than me. But so don't think that everyone is against you. And then also, you didn't say about the clinic. You didn't say if they have a high turnover rate. You didn't say like turnover rate of the employees. Um, you didn't say anything about the patients and what kind of patients they are. So it's a lot of factors that go into it. Like I said, I think they're hazing you. I think it could be that they're understaffed and you're the one they're taking it out on. It could be that. It could be they're just assholes to everybody. Certain people are assholes to everybody, and if that's the case, then I mean you can't do nothing about that. That's just how they are. I got I got people that think I'm an asshole to everybody, and I'm not. Um, you know, it's just I deal with you. I deal with you accordingly. I ain't got too much conversation for you if you're a certain kind of way. I get you in, get you out. Keep it professional, whatever, whatever. But I hope I answered your question. This video is long. I don't know why I'm getting longer with these videos. This video is like an hour long. And I hope I answered your question. If you got any comments, you can put them below. You can also follow me on my blog, is where I talk about being a unit secretary. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.